Oh my god, guys, 50 to 60% concentration on these 4 new Born to Stand Out fragrances. Can you believe this? I've never heard of such a thing. I think I've experienced 40% concentration, but never 50 to 60% concentration on fragrances. These are the new Born to Stand Out fragrances in a collection called Extrait Extreme. And they focus on oud, and I'm going to tell you about them. Do first impressions on these 4 fragrances coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Sebastian, talking to you about the latest Born to Stand Out fragrances. And it's a Extrait Extreme collection of fragrances, and they come in 50 to 60% concentration. They're selling over at Lucky Scent now. I have them linked in the info box. You can go there and check out the fragrances and discover and get more info on the fragrances. But I met with June, the owner of Born to Stand Out, last September at Petit Fragranza in Florence, and we shot a video together when they launched their Aromatic fragrances. And he mentioned to me that time that they were coming out with ouds in an Extrait collection, but I did not know that they were going to be 50 to 60% concentration. That's insane. So in that video, I also asked him about the fragrances we were speaking about, the Aromatic fragrances, and I asked him what concentration they are. He mentioned that they always overdo with their concentration. They don't give you like a 20%, they give you more. So since they're giving us a really highly concentration eau de parfums, makes sense that these 4 new Extrait Extreme fragrances are 50 to 60% concentration. That's pretty insane. So I'm going to read you a little bit about the fragrances before I open them up on camera. I've not smelled them yet. I'm going to get first impressions together with you. But it says, experience untamed luxury with the Extrait Extreme collection. With an extraordinary 50 to 60 fragrance concentration, these groundbreaking creations shatter the conventions of traditional perfumery. Each scent exudes raw energy, avant-garde character, and an intoxicating presence, delivering unmatched longevity and depth. Rooted in Korea's rich artistry, the collection undergoes meticulous maceration in ongi, ancient Korean pottery that naturally ages and enhances its contents, creating unparalleled smoothness and complexity. Built upon dark, opulent, natural oud, these scents unleash a powerful, provocative force. Every bottle is a masterpiece of Korean craftsmanship, hand-blended, hand-filled, and hand-packed by skilled artisans. This dedication ensures each creation carries the weight of tradition while redefining untamed luxury. This is perfumery at its most uncompromising. So if you guys recall, my favorite fragrance has now become Filthy Musk. So I absolutely adore that fragrance. I can't get enough of it. It's a bit dirty and a gourmand together, sweet. I absolutely love it. Can't get enough of that fragrance. So let's see if any of these fragrances is going to overtake my love for Filthy Musk. I mean, I do enjoy a few other fragrances from the brand, but Filthy Musk just does it for me. I like the nice balance of animalics with sweet gourmand notes. So the first fragrance I'm going to talk to you about is Black Guava, created by Suzy Helley. So I've been mentioning her name quite a bit. She did Acne Studios for Frederic Malle. She also does the Boss Bottled fragrances with Annick Menardo. So she's doing the first fragrance here. I'm reading it in alphabetical order for you. So she's doing the first fragrance. So the first fragrance is called Black Guava, and it's featuring notes of guava, cardamom, Mandarin Madagascar for top notes, heart notes, oud, geranium Madagascar, peony, rose, and finally in the base notes, Cypriol, Patchouli Madagascar, Ambrostar, gray amber. So I believe Suzy Helley works at a firm called Simrise. I believe that's where Annick Menardo works too. They create the Boss Bottled Absolute, one of my favorite fragrances of last year. And before that, they created the Elixir. She's done other fragrances and, of course, Acne Studios. So if you want to find out more info on Black Guava, I have it linked to Lucky Scent in the info box. But let's quickly check the fragrance out. The presentation is different. The bottles are all red. So this is the Extrait Extreme, and it says Extrait Extreme on the front there. It's like written in red on red. But Black Guava. So fruity fragrances are pretty popular as of late. And They're popular because people tend to like them, and I think they're kind of like the new gourmand for me. And we had a peach thing happening last year. Is guava going to be the ingredient of the year? But I recently read that peach fuzz was the Pantone color from last year. This year it's a mocha mousse. But they're selling at 50 ml for $2.90 or a 15 ml for $110. And remember, I said these are 50 to 60% concentration. So before I spray this, I'm going to let you know guava is not my favorite note. So I don't know what I'm going to experience here. But just to warn you, we have a guava and we also have a mango. Then we have candy and then we have purple stain. So I'll tell you the names when I get to each of the fragrances. And this spray is amazing, by the way. So I'm not the biggest fan of guava to eat. Or is it mango? No, it's mango that I don't like to eat because I'm allergic to the note. I mean, the fruit. Guava I enjoy more, but it's not a fruit that I seek out. So I feel like I'm getting the skin of the guava here. There's a bitterness and a greenness about it. Guava was featured in a fragrance by Clinique called Calyx. So guava was very prominent in there. I think this kind of sort of reminds me or hints at it a little bit. It's so green. Very, very green with the guava, but also very, very spicy. But it's kind of astringent and sharp when it's sprayed, when you first spray it with the fruitiness of the guava. Spices are taking over for sure and some citrusy touches, but the oud's back there like waiting to scream out and take over. So this is a fruity oud in the end. Quite bitter and spicy for sure. Very earthy also, I think. There's definitely like the presence of Cypriol here. Very intense. Very, very intense, I think. Very, very intense experience, but quite prominent with the guava. I feel like the guava is running the show where the oud is trying to take over and, become the showrunner. But I think the guava kind of takes over. So I feel like what's going to happen with this is the guava and oud are going to play wonderfully and kind of become a balance of both of those notes. I feel like both of those notes are pretty prominent. With the sprays on the strip. So what I'm going to do is smell all of these and then I'm going to wear my two favorites on each of the hands to let you know which ones are my favorites. So I'll let you know. There is something rosy in the background. There's a floral effect happening here way in the back. But it's that kind of bitter green fruitiness of the guava. And it's mostly the skin because I don't find the actual fruit to be bitter. But I feel like the skin is kind of on the bitter green side. Alright, so that is Black Guava. Alright, so next we have Black Mango, created by Violaine Collas. Mango has been pretty trendy in fragrances as well as of late. So the first two in alphabetical order are the two fruity ones. And I don't think I saw fruity notes listed for the latter two, but I can't remember for now. But this is top notes mango and orange essential oil. Heart notes mango lassi, bourbon vanilla, Tolu resinoid, base notes oud, leather, sandalwood, and Cypriol. I feel like Cypriol is in both of the fragrances that I'm speaking about so far, and Cypriol I see quite a bit featured in a lot of oudy focused fragrances. I guess it adds a kind of an earthy layer, and I feel like Cypriol can also trick our noses to smelling like oud as well. So this is Black Mango. Once again, we've got the Extrait Extreme written there. Oh wow, the mango lassi just totally takes over. It's way under there, but I'm supposed to get mango first, but I got the mango lassi. Because it's a bit milky, creamy, right, mango lassi? This one's fun, but so super potent, really, really intense. This one's brighter, not as dark as the previous one. The previous one, I think that skin of the guava is just bitter. So it created a very dark experience. This one's much brighter, a bit more playful and fun. Not necessarily very dark and brooding kind of experience. And I think the mango and the mango lassi together with that kind of creaminess is creating a more bright effect in the fragrance. This one's actually totally wearable. I like this one quite a bit. But let's see between these first two that are fruity and the next two. All right, the next fragrance is called Oud Candy. This one's created by Margaux, Paih, Guerin. So I mentioned earlier that my favorite fragrance from this house has become Filthy Musk, and it's created by Margaux, Paih, Guerin over at Flair. So I guess this is the 5th or 6th fragrance that she's created for the house of BornToStandOut. I really like her work. I'm seeing that she's doing some great work, and I actually really love the firm she works for called Flair. I really love the ingredients they use, and some of the fragrances they use are quite great. So I'm looking forward to this one, and let's see how it is. I like the idea of Oud Candy, and again, as I said, I really like what Margaux, Paih, Guerin is doing. And so I can't wait to get my nose on this. So this is Oud Candy. So 50 to 60% concentration. What do you guys think about this? Do let me know. Is it too overwhelming? I guess a little goes a long way, because they are pretty powerful from what I'm experiencing. Of course, I'm not wearing these, so I don't know how they're going to wear on skin. Huh. Oh, first smell was a bit medicinal, but there's definitely the DNA of Flair in here. Wow, this is actually good. I'm not getting much of a candy experience. This one, it's very saffron forward and oudi. So between the three, so far, this is my favorite, even though I had that kind of medicinal vibe up front. I'm going to spray a ton on. Ooh, that's strong. Oh, I love this. Oh, wow. So strong, man. Woo! This is really, really strong. Wow, okay, I think I oversprayed a little bit. It's definitely... I'm getting a lot of like greasy manufacturing plant kind of mixture here. Like oily, greasy woods and mechanic shop and things like that. But there's a sweetness around it. There's definitely sweetness around it because I have brown sugar, candy, milk. I'm not getting milk though. This is kind of dry for me. The oud and saffron are pretty prominent. And around the fragrance, there is the DNA of the brand. Like, not the brand, but the Flair organization of creations, I should say. If you don't know much about Flair, Flair does fragrances for Les Eaux Primordiales, the new Blender Graphie, and you can tell like the DNA because they use similar ingredients, and I tend to really enjoy them. There's something very sexy about this, but it's so oily. Look at that. Oh my god. That's pretty oily. But that's really good. Although, like I said, it does have a kind of a greasy, oily, manufacturing kind of plant-like smell, but so oud and saffron forward. That's really quite prominent and very leathery as well. I like that one, but it is quite overwhelming. Just don't spray that much. All right, so last but not least, in the Extrait Extreme collection, we have Purple Stain. Not sure what that means, but this is created by Jordi Fernandez, and Jordi Fernandez is with Givaudan. And remember the BornToStandOut Fugazi collab? That was also created by Canton Biche. So now we have another Givaudan perfumer. But Purple Stain has notes of saffron, cinnamon bark, nutmeg, ginger, mandarin, bergamot for top notes. Heart notes features orange blossom, caramel, Peru balsam, and vanilla. Finally in the base, we've got Akigala wood, oud, patchouli, cypriol, ambrofix, cistus concrete. A lot more going on here. And I am digging a lot of the creations of Jordi Fernandez. So let's see how Purple Stain is going to be. This is Purple Stain. Let me know which fragrance sounds great to you so far. I have to say, these are spraying much better than the white bottles. I don't know if it's because it's got so much oils in it and it's coming out faster or smoother or something, but it's spraying a lot more. Okay, I'm getting something bubblegummy here. Wow. Total bubblegum. But, like, I don't know if it's the right way to say this, manly bubblegum? Because there's something bubblegummy there, but also that whole kind of greasy, oody kind of woodiness is also kind of like stepping on all over the gum or something. I think the orange blossom and some of the other notes is giving me like a bubblegummy effect. I like this one. So, I should clarify, I guess I probably didn't. Fruity fragrances I like, but I like more deeper fragrances more. If it's all fruity fragrances, then I will select, between the fruity fragrances. But for me, this is my second favorite so far, smelling it off the strip. So let's try this one on skin. 4 only. But damn, these are oily, man. So oily. In fact, I got all the boxes all oily because they're spraying everywhere. Wow. Look at that oil. So yeah, this is... Okay, all of these are oud focused. They do have that kind of industrial kind of machine shop greasy kind of experience. More with the latter two than the previous two. The previous two were more fruity. So they had that along with the fruitiness, which kind of balances it out. These latter two do go more kind of industrial greasy, as I said. But there's something very bubblegummy spicy here with Purple Stain. Alright, so once I put my nose on the Purple Stain on this, then I went to the Oud Candy. I got something animalic. So there is a funk under the Oud Candy, but it's definitely enjoyable. Oh man, these are so potent, so intense. Wow, okay, after smelling Oud Candy, going back to Purple Stain, I got something fruity from it, but there's no fruits mentioned. Ginger. Wow, these are so intense, guys. I mean, look at this. Oil galore. Okay, so here's what how I would rank it. So, like I said, I'm in love with the creations of Margaux, Paih, Guerin. I think my favorite between all of these, and everything has gotten greasy all of a sudden. Oud Candy is definitely calling for me. I guess Purple Stain is the second favorite, followed by Black Mango, and then Black Guava. So the reason I'm not favoring the Black Guava, that bitter greenness that the guava is providing, or wherever it's coming from, is turning me off from enjoying that fragrance more than the Black Mango. But overall, so potent. In fact, Oud Candy and Purple Stain are much more potent to me than the other two. I think the fruitiness of the other two does tone them down a little bit. And between the Black Guava and Black Mango, I think the easiest wear is going to be the Black Mango, because it's a lot brighter, and Black Guava is dark and, kind of bitter with that greenness, as I've been mentioning. I think the most embraceable for everyone is going to be the Black Mango. I think mango is pretty popular as a note. It's the most gourmand, I should say, even more than Black Guava. But Oud Candy and Purple Stain, so. In fact, I read the descriptions of these, and for Purple Stain, it has something to do with wine. And so when I go from the Oud Candy back to the Purple Stain, I'm getting a wine effect. So whatever they did, they captured that experience for sure. And I don't know if that's subconscious because I read that about that, but there's definitely something happening like that when I'm smelling the Oud Candy going back to the Purple Stain. But super potent fragrances. I have to test these out further, but with this one-time sampling of these, my favorite happens to be Oud Candy, and also followed by Purple Stain. But let me know your thoughts. Why don't you guys go ahead and check these fragrances out, sample them, and see. And in the meantime, if you've already sampled them, do let me know which one is your favorite. And if you haven't sampled these, what is your favorite, or what are your favorite Born to Stand Out fragrances currently? Do add a comment below so I can find out. Lastly, as I said, these are linked to Lucky Scent, so go check them out over there. And thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video, please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.